Welcome everyone to a new video. In this video, we are talking about forms of art. What are the forms of visual arts? They are 2D, 3D, and 4D. Hello everyone, this is Teacher Maita. I hope you connect with me. In this series, we're going to be talking about art, and art. So these are the basics. So there are other categories of arts. There are visual arts, there's literary arts, there's music, there's digital arts. Sometimes I feel like these categories increase over time because digital arts has actually been only here in the last century. Alrighty, so let's talk about the forms of visual arts. So in visual arts, there's drawing, painting, sculpting, photography, textiles, printmaking, collage, installation, dance, theater, fashion. It's called visual arts because it is visual. You can see it. Anything or any form of art that you can see can be classified under visual arts. Alrighty, so the first form of art is 2D art. These are drawing, painting, printmaking. So here are some examples. In 2D art is flat. Medium is applied to a flat surface like paper or canvas. So drawings like charcoal drawings, crayon drawings, graphite drawings, pastels, ink, and more. Paintings such as watercolor paintings, oil paintings, acrylic, frescoes, murals, and more. Prints such as letterpress, lithographs, stencils, ink stamps, and more. Now let's go to 3D art. So 3D art examples are sculptures, assemblies, modelings, castings, and of course there are more. Here are some examples. Now what makes it different from 2D art? Imagine there's a Cartesian plane. There's an x-axis and a y-axis, and that makes 2D art. What makes 3D art different is there's a z-axis. It makes things, for lack of a better term, 3D. It's not quite just a page. It is not flat. So 3D art is a type of art that goes beyond the flat surface. 3D art is an example or an art form that has surface height, width, and depth. Depth being the z-axis. So it often has texture. That's because it has depth. So sculptures are a type of that. And there are different types of sculptures like bas-relief, low relief, high relief, carvings, and more. There's modeling, which is clay, pottery, glass art, and more. And then there's casting. Casting is usually done through a mold. So there's the lost wax method, iron casting, plastic mold injection, and more. Assemblies are a little different. They're assembly or assemblage, mainly because it is something that you technically assemble. So these are mosaics, collages, stained glass windows, installations, and more. Now let's go to 4D art. Do you guys spot something different here? What's different between the 2D, the 3D, and the 4D? And no, it is not something new because 4D art is actually around even more than 3D and 2D art. Perhaps it was older, we will never know, but guess what? 4D art has been around since mankind has been there. Alrighty, so dance, theater, those are some of the older forms of 4D art. However, we have the new ones like videos and new form media. Let me explain. 4D art goes beyond 2D and 3D. So it's not just flat, it's not something textured. This form of art has another element. It's not just X, Y, and Z. It's got the element of time. It is often experienced. You can't just look at it like a sculpture. There has to be some sort of experience with it. This art form is more popularly called performing arts. So here are some of the types. So videos, you have cinema, short clips like on YouTube and TikTok and Reels. Then you have television, and there are more where you can view these videos. There's the performance art like dance and theater. Please take note, music is not part of this. Music is performing arts, however, it is not a 4D art because it is not visual. If you apply music to dance or theater, it becomes dance or theater. Same thing with new form media. So in new form media, you have the digital arts that you can experience, video games where you are immersed into the art, robotics, 3D projection mapping, and more. Well, guess what? We're playing a game. This game is called Is It 2D, 3D, or 4D? Alrighty, so let's start. The first one. This is pottery. Is it 2D, 3D, or 4D? It is 4D. When you are looking at it as somebody who is doing the sculpture right in front of you. However, if it's already a finished product on the shelf, it is only 3D. So please take note the difference. If it's just the pot, it's 3D. If it is the performance of creating the pot in front of you, because that is also an artwork on its own, it is 4D. Let's go to the next one. How about this? It is a painting. Is it 2D, 3D, or 4D? Paintings are 2D. The painting on a ceiling, is it 2D, 3D, or 4D? For the painting itself, it is 2D. How about these? These are puppets. Is it 2D, 3D, or 4D? The artwork of the puppet itself is 3D. However, if they start to perform or being performed, it becomes 4D. What about this? Digital arts, or in this case, we'll call this augmented reality. You augment what is already there through a 3D image. This is a 4D type of art because it is a type of new form media. How about this? Computer games. I wonder what he's playing. Is it 2D, 3D, or 4D? 4D, because you are immersed in playing or experiencing this art form. Board games. Is it 2D, 3D, or 4D? Normally, the board game itself is 3D, but you don't just look at a game, you actually play it. So it is 4D when you experience the game itself. So, how well did you guys do? Did you guys get the difference? In this day and age, everything could be 4D. Even the art of painting becomes a 4D experience, especially when you record them and post them online. So take note of the differences because things right now are very artistic and there's so much more that the world can offer. Why? Because it's right in our fingertips. It's in our screens, on the phone and the laptop, computers, TV, everywhere. When we go to the mall, when we go outside to the park, it is everywhere. So I hope you guys enjoyed this series. We will be continuing in the next segment. Did you understand the lessons? You can rewatch the video if you want. Do you have questions on other videos? You could also suggest other videos if you want. Just let me know. Thanks guys and see you soon.